Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geek Girl. I'm Sally. Today I bring to you 3 cross-stitch kits that I purchased from DIYChoose back in January of 2022, so we're not too far behind at the moment. We're only on stuff that I got 3 months ago. So yay, winning. Anyway, let's have a look what I got. So that one is branded DIY cross stitch, and the other 2, from what I can tell, are unbranded. So let's have a look at the one that is branded DIY cross stitch to begin with. And I think when I bought these, I hadn't quite worked out that Joy Sunday are the preferable ones to go with. So yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed these ones turn out okay. So as you could see on the picture on the front, I had to get this one because it so relates to me. That's what I do. I pet cats. I hate people and I know things. Yeah, this is me. This one I relate to. So you get just your printed sheet to let you know what the kit is. Inside the canvas is the chart. Now, as I have said, and I've learnt by purchasing things that aren't Joy Sunday branded, you get a chart that's printed like this on A4 paper that is completely tits on a ball. It's useless. It's so small. I don't know how it's meant to help you with anything apart from identifying the size of the actual piece in question. So I mean, yeah, it's letting me know that this is a 40 by 55 canvas and it's a 129 by 194 stitch, and it's all, the whole picture is to be stitched, and it looks like there's 25 colors. So yeah, that's the risk you get when you don't get decent branded cross stitch kits. You get these useless charts. Anyway, I said it was 25 colors, so we'll have a look at the thread, or the floss. I still call it thread. I never say floss for some reason. To me it's just thread. Does that make me not a real floss tuber if I can't even say the word floss? Shocking. Alrighty, so I'm just feeling them. Sorry, I'm just trying to untangle them and give them a bit of a feel. So they're not silky smooth. They feel a bit rough, but I think they'll work. They don't feel poor quality rough. They just aren't silky smooth through my fingers. So we'll have a look. There's color 1 to 18. And it's pretty earthy tones. There's no really bright in your face type tone there. So you've got your blacks and your blues and your browns and some greens. And there's color 19 to 25. And I dare say color 21, that big chunk there of like dark green tealy color, is for the background. So definitely lots of thread involved in this, or floss. I'll get used to saying floss eventually. Now there's 2 needles in here and they're on the canvas. I'm just trying to remember what count this was. It hasn't told me yet. I think it's 11. Looking at how thick the holes are, or how big the holes are, I definitely think it is 11 count. So yeah, I'm going to guess it's 11 count. It definitely looks like it's 11 count. It's quite, as you can see, quite big holes. So here it is. It's printed okay. There seems to be a lot of confetti in it. I can't really read the writing of what the poster's supposed to say, where it says, "That's what I do. I pet cats, I hate people, and I know things." It's hard to read with the way it's printed with the symbols. So as I'm actually stitching it, which I'm just trying to see, so it's going to be pretty much all one color, maybe for the letters. I'm just going to make it all one color for the letters, otherwise that's going to be really hard to read. So yeah, I'm even with an 11 count, I'm not sure that the detail is going to be there, but we'll see what I do when I get around to stitching it. But I can see the skeleton pretty clearly and the black cat there. It's just the words that are going to be quite interesting when I come around to doing them, because just looking at the I that will be in the I hate people, it's got 4 symbols, at least 4 symbols in it. Yeah, I'm definitely just going to keep it as one, pick the main color of it and just run with it, otherwise this is going to be really hard to see and read. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what it's done when it's stitched. But as I said, 129 by 194, and you stitch the whole thing. So, but it is all in full stitch. So I'll pop this one away and we will look at the second kit. Okay, the second kit is this one, and it is 11 count, at least they've said it here clearly. It's 35 by 52 centimeters, or 126 by 200 stitches, and it looks like this veiny killer bear. Again, this is a no-name kit. Okay, so straight away I could see included in this one, I did get 2 toolkits to help. So a ton of needles, the finger protector, the threader, the picker, and the little card to put your extra floss on. So there's 2 of it in there, so that's handy. I won't say no to them. So on this one, it's printed on shiny paper, and I will give them kudos because this is actually a nice large chart that I can read. The only drawback on this one is that they don't have the individual lines between the 10 stitch markers, but it is legible and it is big, so that is something. So we'll give them a half a point for that one. And your legend's there, and it's 30 colors, and which is, you know, a fair decent amount of colors for this project. And it looks like they're all full stitch from what I can tell. Nothing on the back, no. So that's that. We'll pop that aside. Here are the threads, and then they've all been wrapped separately to protect them. And there's definitely a lot of thread here. But for now, I just want to make sure 30 colors, and yes, there's definitely 30 colors present. And these actually feel quite smooth. These feel like nice floss. Yeah, they feel nicer and are slightly smoother than that first kit I looked at. So if I can split it in half here, so you've got 30 colors, and they're quite nice, interesting colors. There's some really nice bright blues in here. There is no 666, even though I thought there would be on this sort of bear. There is not, but there's some nice blues and some reds that will look pretty. So yeah, let's pop this massive threads aside. And we'll have a look at the canvas. Now, as I did say earlier, it's 11 count, so the holes are bigger. And there it is. So on this project, you only need to do the bear itself. The background is all white, so you don't need to do anything. But if you wanted to put words or something, you could. I might find a horror quote to put there because there's a nice big space to put some words in there. But yeah, it's printed really well, and as I said, 30 colors, all straight stitching or full stitching, and so it's 126 across, 200 down, but you don't have to do that many stitches per row. So this one I would recommend for a beginner actually, because the chart, minus the fact that it didn't have the individual line here for the holes, the chart is big and it's very well printed and quite legible, and the canvas here is printed really quite legible, and being an 11 count, it's going to be a lot bigger holes and easier for people who are beginning to use. So, and being full stitch, you don't have to worry about anything fancy. So this one would be a good one for a beginner who doesn't want a baby small kit, who's ready to step up a bit for something bigger. So that's a win, yay. So I'll pop this one away and we'll look at the last kit. Okay, and the last kit is another no name that I could see, but I can already see this has got a really tiny chart in it, so I don't know how helpful that's going to be, but I got this one and I thought of Terry instantly because it does say retro movie collection, and as some of you may not know, my husband Terry has his own channel called Terry Talks Movies, where he does a lot of older and he does some new stuff as well in the movie realm, and he's actually award winning now. He won a Dittmar William Athling Jr. award, I believe it was, for his YouTube channel. So I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in all things movies. Go check Terry out. So that's why I got this one. And no, he didn't pay me to say anything like that. He won't know that I said it until he watches this video. But he should probably give me something for my kind words. So let me know in the comments down below what you think Terry should give me for boosting his channel. Alright, so again, you got another toolkit. So that is something I noticed you do get with these no-name branded cross-stitch kits. You do get these cool little toolkits, which I haven't really seen in Joy Sunday. I might have had one so far from memory. But they did let me down a little bit with the chart on this one. It's printed quite small, considering that the whole piece is required to be stitched. So it's 148 by 213 stitches. 40 by 55 centimeters, and there's 34 colors, but again I believe it's all pretty much full stitch, no fancy stuff required. So this one would take a while for me to do, but you know, I'm up for the challenge. The writing would be a bit hard to see, I think. Again, I'd have to see how it goes when I was starting to stitch it, if I wanted to just keep it as all one solid color. I mean, I know it's meant to change color because it's meant to look like it's worn, but if you wanted it to be legible on something like this, you probably want to stick to one color and just adjust the chart slightly so it is legible. But we'll have a look. Again, you got the floss in a separate bag, so it's nicely protected, and we will actually look at that now. Well, so you need a lot, obviously. So there's all your extras that you need when you run out of the ones on the card. So yeah, it's not branded that I can see, but there's your color there. So that's extra of 741. So lots of orange in this one. And there's all your extra of 720. So it feels not quite nice and smooth. So yeah, it's definitely going to be oranges and browns and some rusty colors and a little bit of red. So there's your color palette. If you don't like orange, this is not the kit for you, I think. So let me wrap all that up. Just a mound of thread. I'm going to put this back in the bag nice and safe and keep that aside. So yeah, definitely a lot of thread there. Alrighty, so here is the canvas. So this one is a lot of stitching. So yep, on this one you will need to stitch every line of 148 colors and down 213 stitches, not 148 colors. You will have to stitch 148 stitches on every single line, times that by 213 rows. That's a lot of stitches. This is a project and a half. Well, for me anyway. For other people this might take them no time. For me this is going to take a little while. But it actually looks quite good. Like through the camera lens I can see that that definitely says retro. That's really clear. The words movie collection, you can sort of tell it by the dark part, but again I think I would have to stick with the one color just to make that more legible when I actually come around to stitching it. And the same here where it's meant to say only hits. And we have a visitor. Let me fold that in half to see if she wants to get in the frame. So yeah, there would have to be, as I said, slight adjustments to the actual chart so that you can legibly read the words. But it looks well printed. It's going to be a lot for me, but it's 11 count as well. That's why it's sorry, can you see anything through Luna's tail? I apologize, I just looked up and realized her tail was in the shot. It is a lot of stitching, so let me just pop this away and we'll come back for final thoughts. Okay, so there are the 3 kits that I purchased from DIYChoose back in January 2022. So they were a bit hit and miss. This is the risk you take when you get non-Joy Sunday ones. I was pleasantly surprised by this Horror Bear one. The chart was quite big and quite legible. So this, and it's only, sorry, and the bear is the only thing you really need to worry about stitching in this one, unless you want to add some details yourself in the white space. So this one was a surprise for an unbranded one for me. These two, look, they're doable for sure. They're doable, but yeah, you're let down with a chart that is really quite too small to read if you need to rely on it because you can't quite work out what's happening on the canvas. And you will need to do a bit of recharting to make sure that the words are quite legible. If this is your first time stumbling across my channel, thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. And if everyone could also leave a comment down below on what you thought of these kits. Have you done any of these and what has your experience been with them? Especially with these ones that are unbranded and the small charts. Have you had problems with them yourself? I'd love to hear from you and I always respond. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon account set up and the details are here on screen. Everybody, no matter where you are, please stay safe, stay weird, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.